We're coming, and we ain't backing down.
We don't need a bunch of cats in here looking in the mirror. Hey, will you shut up?
I'm bitterly disappointed with the officiating today.
Guys being dudes.
And they run through our like through a tin horn, man.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you to our Split Zone Duo listeners. I'm Alex Kirshner, joined by my co-host, Richard Johnson, and our co-host emeritus and co-founder, Stephen Godfrey. Stephen, do you know where your Michigan basketball coach is this morning?
Yeah, he's going to be the Mavs head coach. Is that right? I saw this
Yes.
earlier this morning on on like a gym TV.
He said, "Let me get some of that Cooper flag," and he
FAU legend.
Yeah, and it sounds like he is doing the blame it on the current state of college sports on the way out.
But you know what?
Oh, of course. I love that song.
With basketball coaches, when they do this, I look at them and I just say, yeah, that's fine. With college football coaches, I'm always a little bit more skeptical. Not that there aren't real lifestyle differences between the two, but being a college basketball coach does just kind of seem like it sucks. I mean, relatively speaking, you get paid a lot of money to coach a basketball team. It's fine. But in football, if you take your eye off the ball for a second, then you lose a guy in the portal, whatever, you got 60 more of them. But in basketball, it can all fall apart pretty quick. I remember reading a story in The Athletic right after they won the national championship about how he was just not relieved at all. And not in the performative Nick Saban way. Like, oh, I got to recruit. I'm losing recruiting time by being in the national championship game. But like, actually, he just sounded exhausted by having to do the job. And I think there's a basketball angle to that.
I think it would be, and look, I imagine there will be some quick resolution to this, but it is Monday before the NBA draft. And it seems like Giannis is about to get traded, like imminently. And so I do wonder if the Mavs could pull like an insane 1-2 punch and pull Dusty May and Giannis within like 24 hours of each other. This is what's into a basketball hour.
Yeah, I was about to say, wow. All right, you guys have really opened up the format. CJ McCollum re-signed yesterday for 1 year. Noted Knicks killer.
I also will say, if Billy Donovan ends up the head coach of Michigan, I will be inconsolable. That's one that I can't have that.
Can't abide it.
No.
It does feel like this keeps happening to Michigan, too. This win the national championship, billionaire wants your coach, so you go and lose him. It's kind of an interesting thing going on there.
Oh, you mean answering to that fan base doesn't inspire longevity?
Godfrey, let me ask you this. I have previously held this title or given this title to Tennessee, but it is my straw poll ranking of the it's always something with XYZ school.
Mm-hmm.
I have always regarded Tennessee as the leaders and best in this specific category, but Michigan is right there.
Yeah,
right there behind them.
Yeah, I know. I've kind of created multiple bits, killed multiple bits, like run them into the ground, etc. But yeah, it is not a affable fan base. And I know you might ask, like, oh, well, what is? I think they're just more. It's huge. You have a massive alumni base, massive sidewalk alumni base. I think that it's a big brand, and so that is part of it. They've had a lot of turmoil behind the scenes at various levels the last couple of years. Yeah, no, I mean they should be loud and annoying just based off of their size. It's just weird that I think what makes Michigan's fan base different is that they do all the things a big college sports brand does in the bad way of like behavior. And then they look you in the eye and tell you, we're not doing that because we are somehow also Harvard or Yale. And that's always been my rub, where I was like, no, I'm going to drag you back into the dirt where you belong because that's how you act. Like, you're no different than Alabama.
I have a slightly modified read on this now. I was thinking about this when I was out of office last week and all the Texas Tech stuff was going down, and it was like Texas Tech fans versus everyone else in college sports, kind of in the same way that it was Michigan fans versus everyone in college sports during the sign thing a couple of years ago. Not to relitigate, don't worry. And I realized that what it is with Michigan fans is that when you are in conflict with them, they're unfortunately a pretty well lawyered up and generally smart fan base. And I remember thinking like, wait, am I the bad guy? Like, am I ridiculous for like not believing everything Sharon Moore and Jim Harbaugh said during this? Like, wow, like I must be making a huge mistake here because it's well argued. Whereas when other college sports fan
well
bases,
argued has never correlated to correct
or it's well lawyered.
or intelligent.
It's well lawyered.
Intelligent. Yeah.
Whereas like when Texas Tech fans are doing the whole like, well, they haven't even said they're going to play them. They haven't done anything. Like, it's kind of like, guys, respect my intelligence a little bit more. Whereas Michigan fans can kind of, when you're in conflict, can kind of put you in the spin zone in a way that I think is unique.
I tend to disagree.
That's a you problem, dog.
Put
your head down. Put your head down. Follow your guard. Hit your fucking mark.
Exactly.
Okay? Run the ball on them.
As a veteran of the Harbaugh Wars in the way that I was, I beg to differ. But yeah,
Fair.
Michigan. I do think Michigan has currently unseated Tennessee in my current straw poll of it's always something. Nebraska was there for a little bit. Florida State also had a moment in time, but I will say with Michigan, it's the entire athletic department.
Knowles are definitely up there. Yeah.
Yes. Florida State, it was always something, but it was pretty much football specific.
I would challenge you to put a little bit more rubric to this because and it's all this is sort of highly subjective,
sure,
based on the individual and their experiences in sports media. I don't know if I would have Michigan. Michigan would be my top 5. I don't think it would be at the very top for me though. I'd really have to think about this.
Well,
Florida State, you see, that's the thing. Is like it's just like any other ranking. Like right now, man, it feels like the world's ending twice a month in Tallahassee. But that's not always the case. You know,
sure,
some of the Jimbo years were, dare I say, boring,
and then some of them weren't. Very much weren't.
Yeah, Tennessee is funny because I just think that their problem is just rooted in impatience. I just had a conversation with someone earlier this morning who's a Tennessee graduate, and he was talking about how, you know, he's like, you know, I dip out of the boards this time of year, which is good. That's good mental health advice for everybody. He said, but, you know, every time I check, it's like Heupel's got to go to the playoff or get fired this year. And I'm like, y'all know. And even this Tennessee fan that I was talking to, he pointed this. I was like, we're either going to have a freshman or a redshirt freshman at quarterback. And they're putting a playoff or bust standard on a guy who has done nothing but bring consistency and success to the program. So I think histrionic is like one. I think Michigan's different because Michigan is always sort of battling an existential crisis because they really think they can be two things at once. I think Tennessee is just woefully impatient. And then I think Florida State has bad, like Florida State displays, like I've had friends who have gone through financial issues before, and that's Florida State. Like all of the angst, Richard, about Florida State you deal with is like that pain of, oh God, we want to fire Norvell. We want to do the crazy Texas A&M buyout, right? But we can't afford this, and he sucks. And we are also worried about where we're going to be in 10 years if the ACC doesn't exist or if the Big Two separate. Like, it's all financially based.
Speak of the devil on Mike Norvell, Alex.
Yeah, let's come to him. In fact, we'll come to him in 1 second when I close this loop by just saying, Michigan, I know you're looking for a coach. I've got one with Big Ten and SEC experience. His name, Brent Langdon, better known as Buzz Williams, head coach at the University of Maryland. Could be yours, Michigan.
Wait, sorry. Is that a joke I'm missing? Did that go over my
Buzz
head?
Williams has been Maryland's basketball coach for the last year.
No,
yeah.
Not that. Who is Brent Langdon?
His full name is Brent. It's Brent Langdon Williams. I didn't know what Buzz's real name was first. Well, it's neither here nor there. Michigan fans.
That's Buzz Williams' government?
Michigan fans, Buzz Williams could be available if you want him. Stick it to a Big Ten opponent. Hire this guy away. He's very hot right now. Things are really on the upswing in College Park. He could be yours if you take him. But yeah, Richard, you mentioned him.
Maryland went 12-21 last year. Jesus
yeah, man, it wasn't
Christ.
great. It wasn't great. But Michigan, get it on the ground floor. You could get him for a cut rate that you probably won't be able to get him for if you wait beyond the next couple of days. Just saying. Richard, you alluded to it. We probably should talk about college football. We have tended to start a lot of our shows lately by talking about other sports for like 10 minutes, and I'm sure everyone loves that. I agree with you. I love it. It's preview to preview season, Steven. So what we're doing right now is beginning to look at the 2026 season and what we think is actually, going to maybe happen on the field. Start talking about actual football.
Alex has been saying this, and like it's at first I like wanted to push back, but in the way that I'm sure you can relate to as a dad, it's like I'll pull this car around and we'll talk Brendan Sorsby. God damn it.
Oh, God.
Like it's
Wait,
if
are those
you
my
push
two
me-
choices?
If you push me, I will talk
Abnormally
about
early season preview before the 4th of July, which is the
actual
law.
football,
Or
I will bring Congress up. So help me.
oh God,
This is true.
No to both.
It's a Sorsby free show. It's a congressional
Thank
bill
God.
free show. But
Thank
what we are going
God.
to talk about, are a group of coaches. It's like maybe around 10 who enter this season on either an obvious hot seat or in that zone where we may not know yet exactly how hot the seat is, but the fan base is clearly exhausted by you and or things just aren't going very well. There's a couple guys in that group as well. Y'all kind of know the difference between those two statuses. And the objective here is to see if we can find some hope in these programs this year. And if we can't, if we just determine that all 10 or so of these are doomed, then, well, that'll be what it is. And we'll have all year to find out if we were right or not. So here's the list off the jump. Mike Norvell at Florida State, Dave Doeren at NC State, Mike Locksley at Maryland, Luke Fickell at Wisconsin, Dave Aranda at Baylor. Those are pretty obvious, could get fired if things don't go well situations. I don't think anyone would dispute that. We've also got in the general malaise division, Pat Narduzzi.
Keep
We'll
it in the clear hot. Keep it in the clear hot.
All right, we'll come to the rest of them later.
So
And
wait,
but
Dave Doeren is in the hot seat, but there's a malaise category, and he's like, I feel like
I probably should have put Doeren in that category.
You look
Yeah.
malaise up in the dictionary, and it says NC State football.
This is a fair point. Doeren could have maybe dropped in the other category. But Richard, that's why I was going to name them all up front so we could quibble. Pat Narduzzi at Pitt is in that category. Shane Beamer at South Carolina. Scott Satterfield at Cincinnati. Dabo Swinney at Clemson. And then there's two guys who I didn't really know what to do with, but I figure we should talk about them, especially because, we put these video podcasts on YouTube now too. And we know how the YouTube audience can be. Deion Sanders at Colorado and Bill Belichick at North Carolina.
Never.
So those are a lot of coaches where, pandering, exactly. Those are a lot of coaches where things do not generally seem to be going well. And we're trying to find some hope. Richard, do you think you could find any for me in Tallahassee, Florida?
Yeah, yeah. I think that you're betting that the offense gets back to where it's supposed to be with Mike Norvell calling plays.
Okay.
You're betting that the playmakers they have at wide receiver, namely Micah Danzy and Deuce Robinson, are enough, and Quintravian Wisener running back. You're betting the playmakers they have at the skill positions are enough to overcome Ashton Danielsness, and that the portaled, again, offensive line can hold up. I think, I don't know if fine on defense is the way to say it. Maybe not awful on defense is probably what I can see there. I don't think, if I had to power rank these as far as hopeless, I actually don't think Florida State's as hopeless as Baylor nor Wisconsin. Than Baylor or Wisconsin. Because I think I'm more positive on Maryland than I am on probably Florida State out of these 4 or 5. And if we're chucking Dave Doeren into the malaise category,
That's
we're chucking Dave
cool.
Doeren out
That's
of this.
So you think that it sounds like more of a comparative argument than it has to do with the standard at Florida State. So like when I start after the 4th and I start like doing my preview reading and the phone calls and all that stuff, where I guess the way I would approach Florida State is, are they going to have, like, they're gonna be more talented than a lot of those teams that you mentioned, because it's an apples and oranges program comparison. But are they going to improve enough to quell their own discord?
Yeah, like what's the number?
There. Like,
yeah, what's the number?
Yeah.
Like, what do they have to do? It's sort of like,
I don't know.
Billy Napier's a bad comp, but it's just the quickest one that comes to my mind. Like you start with such an avalanche of negativity, justifiably. I'm not saying he hadn't earned it, but you start with such an avalanche of negativity that you have to honestly go leaps and bounds above to even get to like the Mendoza line of like normal discourse, basically.
We can't say Mendoza line anymore. It'll have
Yeah,
a second
right.
meaning. That's funny.
Right.
I just thought about that.
He played for the Pirates, by the way. The Mendoza of the Mendoza line, who could never hit above 200. Just saying. We're global.
I mean, that feels
global.
that feels accurate. Y'all want to trade for Skeens yet? Do you want some Skeens? You want some prospects yet? For Skeens?
Soon.
Give it 2 years. Give it 2 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure soon.
The
The other thing is they're also going to go out and get beat by SMU and or Alabama by the end of September, which is an issue.
Yeah. So if I'm comparing situations, what I expect come roster assessment time is that, yes, this is a more talented team than Baylor. Yes, this is a more talented team than you said Wisconsin or NC State, whatever, anybody that Alex is going to offer up. I just want to know what the standard for acceptance is. This is a year to right the ship. What does that even mean anymore? Do you have to win 9? Do you have to have a puncher's chance at the conference championship? Like, do we feel like this is an organized enough staff to produce that?
This feels very their season to me feels very binary. Like you don't get.
But what's
the
the
mulligan.
But what's the binary? What's the
line? Is it?
I mean,
Yeah.
he's probably going to have to win like 8 or 9 games.
Yeah.
Like you got to win a lot of games.
8's weird, man.
That is
I would.
weird.
If you say 8, I'm going to say which 8.
If you do 8, I'll just read off the losses. You lose to
Schedule
SMU,
game.
Alabama, Virginia, and Miami. That's 4. Which
They play a
means
game
you've
at
beaten-
Louisville.
Yeah, which means you've beaten Louisville, Clemson, Florida, Pitt, and NC State.
No revenge win on
Virginia.
on the Who's. We're not getting a revenge win
Virginia.
on the Who's.
Yeah, there's Virginia too.
God.
So are those wins going to hold up? Maybe it's a timing thing. But then again, if he's lost to SMU, Alabama, and Miami, he's not going to make the Halloween.
No, it's an interesting spot because, I mean, you could also look at the end of that year. Like, they got a road game against Pitt. You know how those can sometimes be if you're not very good. If you are good, it could be one thing. They got
Right.
Florida the last week of the season. Who knows what Florida's going to look
Yeah,
like?
it's
But
way
it doesn't
too
actually
early for
it
that.
doesn't actually tend to get that far, right? Like, if this is going
No.
badly, like
Yeah.
he won't be coaching that game if things have gone pretty poorly. Also, a tough thing for them this year is that even if they were to beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, I don't think that would get them out of the like that would help the vibes, but it would only do so much because, well, we all saw what happened last year. After
You just
beat
can't
Alabama.
have like a Boston College after that. You can't have a 3-game streak, a
No.
losing streak. Yeah.
He will also luck out because should they win that game, oh my God, the gaze goes just immediately onto the other sideline. Like the second it hit 000.
as in at Kalen DeBoer.
Yes.
I would agree with that. Here's an interesting.
Yeah, but college football possesses the ability to have both fired this year.
Fair. That's fair.
Do you remember 2022 when Brian Harsin came into the year at Auburn after the attempted overthrow in the offseason, and you looked and you saw, oh, interesting, their quarterbacks are Robbie Ashford and TJ Finley? Do you remember that? That was 2022.
Yeah.
Does this not feel a little
TJ
similar?
Finley still playing college football.
That he is. Is this not a little similar when Mike Norvell has not been fired? He returned, and their depth chart is literal Auburn quarterback Ashton Daniels plus everyone else in that quarterback room. Kevin Sperry seems like he's probably the number 2.
They're saying good things about the JUCO kid coming in, by the way. But
God.
he's not on
Fucking-
campus yet.
What a June catchphrase.
It's true. That's good. That's almost as good as the early enrollees are basically family by now. They've bonded in a way
Strength and
that
conditioning has completely changed. They are going to be the best fucking.
he's
shit.
like an older brother to these kids. The strength coach is. He spends
JUCO
time with them
kid.
even when they're not lifting.
JUCO kid is impressing.
Thank you for listening. This has been a free preview of a subscriber episode for our subscribers at splitzoneduo.com. If you'd like to become a paid subscriber today, you can do that at www.splitzoneduo.com/subscribe.